Welcome back to the final whistle for tonight's match preview. We've moved it a day earlier than usual, but yeah, tonight is the match preview. Huge game at Portman Road at the weekend. Leicester look to get back on track in the league. Ipswich remain without a win in the league, and yeah, what a game this one's going to be between the Tractor Boys and the Foxes, as both teams have an eye on 3 points. And yeah, these are the types of games where you need to win if you're to stay up in the Premier League. And yeah, the steady start so far by Leicester, but I'm going to get Rich's opinions on Ipswich so far. But Rich is going to be joining me from the Suffolk Crunch to give me all the lowdown on the Tractor Boys since their phenomenal rise from the Championship under Kieran McKenna. So let's see what everyone's saying first before we get Rich in. Hi, Jack. Has Steve Cook been given a touchline ban? I think so. I think they're still waiting to hear back to see if it's either in the Premier League, but I'm not sure. Hi, Jack. Hello. Evening, Terry. How are you, my friend? Good to see you last night. Hi, Jack. Need all 3 points on Saturday. No question about it. Huge game. Must win. And let's get my guest in, Rich from the Suffolk Crunch. Rich, how are you, mate?
Good evening. So you're saying must win for you as well?
It is a must win for us.
Oh, wow. People are telling me it's not must win and we ain't won in 9. So you're saying it's must win and you've won 2.
Yeah, I think these are always must-win games because these are always going to be the teams around you, isn't it, this season? And obviously people have referred it as a mini-league, haven't they, where Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, Wolves, Palace and other teams are in that type of mini-league amongst ourselves this season. So I think it'd be interesting. But welcome to the final whistle, Rich. Let everybody know what you do regarding the Tractor Boys.
So I was on Talking Town, which is another good town podcast, Jack. And then I started my own up in, I think it was back in June, just doing a few videos, previews, and there he is, Matt Stannard, legend. Yeah, and then I do one, the most popular one's called the Sunday Stroll, where I go for a little walk on a Sunday and have a chat about the game, because, I mean, I don't normally like to do one sort of straight after the game, because I think sometimes you come out of ground, if you've had a bad refereeing decision or you've made a mistake late like we did on Saturday, it's probably not the best time to sort of vent your feelings, and then like the next day you sort of calm down a little bit, and then you still lose your shit then.
Yeah, but man, are very like that, aren't we, Rich, when football comes to terms every
exactly.
weekend. We don't even talk to the missus when we get home, so I guess
she's actually, my missus is actually, she's coming Saturday, and my mum. So my mum's normally a lucky omen. My missus is normally a bad omen. So make of that, Jack, what you will.
Yep. Clibo says, "Can we have your manager, please?" Obviously,
no.
I know.
Keep your hands off McKenna.
I know he was linked with McKenna after Brendan Rodgers got the sack.
Yeah.
Well, I should say left Leicester, but obviously, talk to me how things have been regarding Ipswich. Phenomenal season last season. Welcome back to the Premier League after 20 odd years away. How does it feel being back in the big time?
Well, it was it's 3 years, I think, December since McKenna came in, and we were floating around. I think we were about 11th, Jack, then in League One, and obviously, look, we got promoted the season after from League One. It took us 4 years to get out there. Don't ever want to go back there. Some of them grounds I've visited, you're thinking, yeah, I don't really want to go back there again. And then we got to the Championship, and then obviously with yourselves, you pipped us to the post. You were miles clear at one stage. It was like, what was it, 17 points It was like the Grand National, and then you nearly done a Devon Lock, and we nearly caught you at the end, didn't we? But we'd take second. Don't worry. I was well happy because I predicted, I think, between 8th and 12th last year. I thought, right, get back in the Championship, solid season, build some foundations. That actually might be our downfall a little bit this season. That I think I did say at the start of the season. I think we probably, Jack, moved a little bit too quickly. You know, back-to-back promotions. We've not really had time to build. Like we had a lot of players. I think the first game against Liverpool, there was 7 who played with us in League One. There was quite a few last Saturday at Brentford as well because we got a load of injuries. I think we got 7 or 8 out. We'll probably touch on that in a minute. But yeah, look, it's great to be back here. It's just we'd like to win a game. Can you help us out, please, on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't want to become charity FC again. I mean, we've done this in the past. No comment on it. But no, Ipswich, took the Championship by storm. I had them last season around the playoffs. I thought they were the dark horses last season who could really go and do something. But I think they're surprised even Leeds United to think, even though Leeds battered them at Ellen Road, they still managed to do what they was doing. And I find with Ipswich, they're always a side who never give up. They're a side who keep going from the first minute to the last. And we've seen that a lot last season with the late goals that they scored and the scenes and everything like that. We even seen it against bloody Leicester on 2 occasions. But now, how do you think McKenna realistically has done it? Ipswich back-to-back promotions. This season's about staying in the league. Do you think he can do it?
Look, Kieran's been fantastic in the time he's been here. And then, obviously, he was linked in the summer, Jack, with Chelsea, United and Brighton. And we probably did think at one stage that he might leave us. It was, you're thinking we got promoted in May and it was absolutely brilliant. Some of the scenes, we'll probably never, ever see them again. And then you think you might lose your manager and you think, oh, bloody hell, you've done all that hard work. But look, he stayed. He signed a new 4-year contract. Look, we found it difficult. We have to admit, so far, when you've played 9 games and you've only got 4 points on the board and you haven't won a game, I think you have to admit that you found it difficult, and we're still learning. But it's a very unforgiving league. You've only got to look at the example last Saturday when we went to Brentford away. We've done a lot of good things in that game, a lot of positives. Yet we ended up coming out of the game, losing the game 4-3 with a goalkeeping error right at the end of the game. And it's at the minute, we've conceded 20 goals, Jack. That's probably the main thing at the minute. We are conceding too many goals. And if we don't stop it, it will end in relegation. I'm realistic enough to know that if you keep conceding goals at the rate we're going at the minute, over 2 a game, we obviously last season, I think we let in over 50, but we scored in the 90s. We were really, really prolific. So, yeah, if we can stop the flow of the goals going in, I think we'll have a chance.
Yeah, Michael was on about the 6 play each other over the weekends. The next couple of weekends, don't they? Leicester play Ipswich, I think. Southampton's got Everton at some point. Wolves as well. Palace around there as well. How do you think you've adapted to the Premier League, though? I mean, you've seen how Sheffield United shipped over 100 goals. You look at Luton, Burnley, they came up. It came all 3 came straight back down. How do you think McKenna changes that for Ipswich Fortunes to make sure they do stay up? And do you think this style of football is key here? Because a lot of people have spoke about Ipswich and Southampton regarding the style of football, that they have kept it the same. Do you think you kind of need to make them tweaks during this type of season to make sure you do not go down to the Championship again?
Well, look, when McKenna came in, we had no philosophy or identity. We suffered for years. We had obviously Mick McCarthy, and how he played. And then you had Paul Hurst, Paul Cook, Paul Lambert, and there was no identity there throughout the club. The club was a mess. It was a shambles. And Kieran's come in. Look, we've had new owners come in. Harry Clark as well got sent off. We'll probably touch on him in a minute. We had new owners come in. Mark Ashton, obviously the CEO, he's done an absolutely wonderful job. You've only got to look at the stadium. It was falling apart, Jack. And can McKenna adapt? See, I think we've adapted a little bit already. I don't think. Look, we all see these teams. They all want to play from the back. They all want to play football nowadays. You're probably seeing a change with yourselves where you had Maresca last year, possession, pass. Now Steve Cooper's come in and he's trying to change that philosophy for you with the way that he plays. He's probably, I'd call him quite a pragmatic manager, Steve Cooper. I know he's probably not going to set your pulses racing, but he'll probably do enough to keep you in this league. And there's you've obviously probably got a lot of players from your promotion last year, and they're still learning how to adapt because when you get a new manager come in, they all have their different ideas. Whereas Town, we've got 12 players come in, Jack, and that's the main thing at the minute that you're probably seeing with Town. It's like I say, you got promoted so quickly, and we've spent 104 million in the window. 12 players we signed, and you still probably, I know you're 9 games in, you are probably still bedding some of them in. But it's a case of you have to move quickly. Football moves so fast, and before you know it, it's Christmas time, and we could be cut adrift by then. But I think, look, McKenna's the best man for the job. I don't think he's under. If you look at Russell Martin at Southampton and the noises, he's probably under pressure. Whereas McKenna, whatever happens this season, I don't think he'll be under any pressure at all. I honestly think he could lose nearly every single game, and it wouldn't matter to me because the great things that we've done over the last 2 seasons, I think this is a bit of a bonus season where you've got to come here and you've got to just enjoy it. And I know at the minute you're probably not enjoying it because we haven't won a game. And over the last 2 years, we lost 10 games, Jack. That was all we lost in 2 seasons. So we're used to winning a lot of football matches. And at the minute, we're not. And we're probably not getting the rubber to green with little things like you see that comment there about Harry Clark getting sent off on Saturday. He got 2 yellows. The second yellow, he's got the ball. But with the way that VAR is, the VAR doesn't look at second yellow cards. So, and I don't want to be moaning about refs and VAR. We had a VAR penalty. We've never experienced any of this before VAR. And I mean, we had a penalty given against Everton the week before, which they overturned. Which I think it was a soft one, but it's like, was it an absolute howler by Michael Oliver at the game? No, it probably wasn't. And I thought it's with the rules the way it is, it should stay with the on field. So that was overturned. And then on Saturday, the free kick in the second half when it's 2-2 was given outside the box. And then you see up on the screen, VAR checking for penalty. And you think, oh my God, here we go. We've got this. And then it's given. And then that's little things that you have to get used to. You have to adapt to it because I see last night and Steve Cooper got the yellow card that he suspended. Yeah. So no VAR in the Carabao Cup then? They weren't using that last night? I can't get my head around it.
Even though Man United's second goal should have been offside, but
there you go.
We're not going to.
But we can't bemoan. We can all moan about refs and that. Yeah. At the minute, we haven't been good enough. At the minute, because you can't say you've been good enough when you haven't won a game.
That's it. That's a fair point. Talk to me about Liam Delap. Brought him in the summer. 5 goals so far, I think it is for Ipswich. He's doing what Ojoa did at Leicester. Ojoa coming from Brighton, never played in the Premier League before, and really took the Premier League by storm in his first season. Ojoa. Do you kind of get that with Liam Delap, that he's really going to be the main man this season? Obviously, you have to adapt to the way Liam Delap plays, don't you, with how big he is and that, and getting the ball into him as many times as you can in a game. But what's your thoughts on Liam Delap?
Yeah, we see him obviously last year. We played Hull and he was obviously on loan there. And I think he only got 8 goals in 30 odd games. He had a bit of an injury. Yeah. Scored against us near the end of the season when we drew. It was a brilliant game up there. 3-3. He come off the bench. Look, he's been the main man so far with 5 goals, and he could have had more. Personally, I see noises already that Spurs are looking at him in January. I think I'll be very surprised, Jack, if he's at Town next season, because I think he's that good. He's probably surprised a lot of people when he comes in from City. Look, we've obviously seen him and we played against him, and you probably think, yeah, he's not a bad player, but we didn't see anything that we've seen so far in the 9 games. I don't know if you've seen some of the goals he got. The one against Villa, It's a great individual goal. And that's where he's got 5, and I think probably 3 of them goals he's created them himself. He can get the ball, he can drive, he can run, he's strong. He don't mind a battle with a centre half. He'll give a bit back to the centre half. I think he could play at the top level. I really do. I think he could play for England. I know England, obviously, you've got Harry Kane at the minute, but I think you're still going to look for that number 9 when Kane does go. There you go. Can you hear them barking away? Probably trick or treat. Probably trick or treaters, but all the sweets are gone. So yeah, look, Delap's he's been a breath of fresh air. It's just a case of he's got 5 out of the 9 goals that we've scored, and you're probably going to have to rely on him for the season to stay fit. You need him staying fit. He didn't start last Saturday. They rested him, and he came off the bench and he scored. George Hurst obviously used to play for you. He got his first goal. So yeah, look, Liam Delap. Yeah, he's been a breath of fresh air, and hopefully he'll get another goal or 2 on Saturday. Would be nice.
I bloody hope not. Let's get on to the game. Leicester be travelling to Ipswich, to Portman Road. Obviously, last season at Portman Road was a late goal. I think it double deflected.
Yeah, lovely double.
That
wasn't his goal. They didn't give it to him. It was going about 3 yards wide, wasn't it?
What's been your thoughts on Leicester and Steve Cooper?
Like I said, it's obviously you got promoted last year. You had a massive lead, didn't you? There, and it was you almost got caught. But it's a case of listen, you've just got to get out of that league, and you won the league, and you were the best team in it. And then you obviously lose him in the summer, which wasn't probably ideal for you. And you lose your best player, don't you? You lose Dewsbury Hall, and then he's hardly played for Chelsea. So I don't really see what he's gained by going to Chelsea. I think Leicester are. Look, you only have to look what you've done when you come up. It was the first season you came up before, and then you nearly got relegated under Pearson. And then the next year you go and you win the Premier League. And I mean, as a football fan, you know, I think everyone was rooting for Leicester that season. They wanted them to win the league, you know, the underdogs, and it was nice to see someone different than your Cities and your Liverpools and your Arsenals dominate. And then obviously, look, you won the FA Cup, and I was a bit surprised when you got relegated because I thought established Premier League team, but you've got back there and you've still got some Premier League experience in your team, which we haven't. That's one thing that we haven't really got, Jack, where you and Southampton have probably got players who've played in the Premier League, and we've made a lot of signings, but they're all from the top end of the Championship. So that's where probably is a little bit different than you. I think you've stolen a bit of a march already when you won them back-to-back games against Bournemouth and Southampton. I think this early in the season, that's absolutely massive for you because you're on 9 points now, and you're thinking if you come to Portman Road and you beat us on Saturday, you'll go 8 points clear of us, and that after 10 games, that's a huge gap, I think, and that might be too much for us to claw back. And this is what I'm saying. I think it's a really, really important game that we win. I know there's a few of our fans saying it's a game you must not lose, but I think you're on game 10 now. The next 3 fixtures after you, we got Spurs away, Man United at home, which will probably be under their new manager, and then we go to Forest. So sooner or later, you know, every game is a hard game in the Premier League. You know, when you come in here, there's literally no easy games, but it's a massive game Saturday. It's an absolutely huge game for both clubs. There's probably more pressure on us to win it. I think I know your fans probably might not. They probably want to win, but I think for you, if you took a point away, I don't think that'd be a bad result for yourselves. But I think with us, it's a game. I mean, you have to beat them teams who you think are going to be around you. But we had that the other week. We played Everton at home, and everyone thought Everton are struggling. And then they come and they do a job on us, and they beat us 2-0, and we never really laid a glove on them. So we're hoping it's obviously going to be a different story on Saturday.
Yeah, that was my thinking when we played Everton. You're on a poor run of form. These are the games you got to win against Everton, and
that's what they say.
You bloody drop points, and you think, for God's sake, man. You know, I think with Leicester, it's kind of been a very changeable season, should we call it, for the Foxes. It's been a steady start. Does Steve Cooper have an identity? Some would really question it, to be honest. Obviously, the players are having to adapt from Enzo's style of football of keeping the ball in that and doing whatever, and then playing low block football, and that was Steve Cooper. You could say it's been frustrating at times, but I think if Steve Cooper keeps you above 18th, then he's done his job, what he's been brought in to do, hasn't he? And I think this is the type of game where you've got to win. It's the games you do look at on the fixtures and think these are the types of teams that are going to be around us. And it's a tough game going to Portman Road. They've not won a game. Obviously, I hope it's not against us. I hope it's someone after that where you do get your first win. But yeah, this is a tricky game. Obviously, Steve Cooper is going to be missing from the touchline for this game, and he'll want Leicester to get back to winning ways after the defeat to Nottingham Forest last Friday. So we'll look to get back to winning ways, and I think it'll be a real battling game. And I think with us this season, we've had more shots at us than we've had against any other team. So I think that's something we've got to adapt to our game, that hopefully we can have more chances against you than you have against us. But you're scoring goals, isn't it? But the only thing with you is, I think, like you said, you've conceded 20 so far.
Yeah,
so
20.
Ipswich are there to be got at, aren't they? I think both sides are going to be looking at it the way of, we don't want to concede. I think both are going to be very cautious going into this game, and it's who's going to be the best team on the day for me. But Matt talks about Jamie Vardy. I want to what Jamie Vardy is on. Doesn't look 39. Well, in fact, Matt, I think he's 37. So Vardy's not getting any younger.
He's knocking on. He's still doing the business for you, isn't he?
He's still banging in the goals. I mean, everyone writes him off, Rich, with every season. Can Jamie Vardy do it in the Premier League again? And
he probably thrives on that, doesn't he? Being written off.
Well, he likes to shithouse with it as well, and if fans like chant at him and that, he likes to give it back when he scores. And
I'll see him at Southampton. I see him at Southampton the other week when he was literally laughing at him. He's one of them players. I think you do need to have characters in the game, Jack. And I think there's probably not as many characters as there used to be in the olden days. And he's someone. Look, you're only getting booed and you're only getting stick because you're a good player.
Yeah.
If you're not doing nothing in the game, no one's going to worry about you. That's why. And he loves giving. Look, if you're going to give someone a bit of stick back, and he goes and scores, you've got to be prepared to take it. That's what I say. Don't give him any stick, Saturday Town fans. Just let him do his business.
Yeah, I find that with Vardy, innit, where fans will give him stick and that. They hate playing against him, but if he plays for you, you love him. You love him forever. He's been here what? Just over 12 years now at Leicester. So the guy's as loyal as they come in football. And I guess in this day and age, you don't really get the loyalty what Jamie Vardy's shown to one club, do you really?
Definitely. I mean, he could have gone to Arsenal, couldn't he, that time when they were in for him? And a lot of people probably would have thought, he probably will. He'll probably leave, but he didn't. And he's still doing the business now. Just hope he don't do it on Saturday.
Yeah, stopping in Stone Market on way down, Royal Oak. Yep. I think with Leicester, and I'll say this, Rich, before the game, we can't afford too many defensive errors. The thing is, with most of the goals we've conceded this season, it's been our own doing. It's been our own sloppiness and the way we've gone about things. And you looked at the Forest game, the 3 goals we conceded in that game, if you watched it, we can't keep doing things like that in games. We're costing ourselves the games here. Do you know what I mean? And we've got to be better. We've got to be better in these games and stop cutting out all these errors, because you want to get points. You don't want to keep dropping points and thinking, what a stupid game to throw away or something like that.
Don't worry. We've probably done more defensive errors than you, mate. If you look at the Brentford game, I don't know if you see the goals from it. I mean, we claw our way back. We claw our way back with 10 men. Delap equalised on 88 minutes, and then they had 7 on. You think, a point here. I know they were winning 2-0, and then obviously we went down to 10. And then Muric, the goalkeeper, he makes an absolute howler in the last minute. And there's nothing you can do, He played quite well in that game. He done some good saves. And then literally in the last minute, he's let a cross. It's a cross from Mbuemo, just sort of sail straight into the net. And you are literally sitting there with your head in your hands thinking, What the hell have you done there? Well, I'd probably use a bit more fruity language than that, Jack. But it's before the watershed. But I was there last Saturday, and I said to my lads literally about a minute earlier, yeah, Muric he's had a really good game today, in goal, and then he goes and absolutely throws in a howler. There he is, Colin. Colin's a legend. He's been watching Town since '64, and he done a really good.
Big old Colin.
He done a really good video for me today. Like he says there, Trevor Wymark. He played for Town in the 70s. Jackie passed away today. He'd had Alzheimer's.
Rest in peace.
He was 74. I think he got 104 goals in just over 320 games for Town under Bobby Robson. So I think that there's things like this on Saturday. We had I don't know if you see, there was a young fan called Tom Tomlin, passed away in the week. He was a Town fan from London. He was in a wheelchair, literally been going to Town for years. So I think these little things. I think it'll be a bit emotional on Saturday. I think it's they'll have the last post. They're playing that. You had a brilliant display on Friday night before the game against Forest. I said on the telly when they had the poppy in the seats, didn't they? Everyone held up the cards. So them sort of emotions might sort of give us a little bit extra maybe on Saturday. Maybe from the fans. I'm not sure about the players, but from the fans, we'll get great support. We've had great support these last few years when we've been doing well, so it'll be pretty lively down there at Portman Road. I'm not sure who the ref is yet. I've not checked out who the ref is, but they're all rubbish, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, I agree. That's where kind of football fans come together, in it, the respect that they show when things like that happen, and both sets of teams come together, both sets of fans, and it's good. It's heartwarming that things like that happen in football. It's good to see that fans come together at times like that. And thought Connor Cody got his flip flops on last night. Not great. Don't get me started on Bobby Decker. Freed awful. Terry, I'll agree with you on Decker don't read. I thought Samari had a great game. El Canoes had a great game. And Jordan Ayew were good as well. But apart from
how many of them players who started last night, Jack, will be playing on Saturday?
I'll tell you what, we'll probably go with Akoli, but then regarding the Fatawu situation, we might start with El Canoes actually. Or if Steve Cooper has his own way, he'll go with Jordan Ayew. Because Ayew seems to be very key under Steve Cooper with starting more games than on the bench. But some would say Ayew's better off the bench. But I think last night he showed you how good he is with his work rate and that. And
he's one of them ones that
experienced type of players.
We haven't got that. You've just hit the nail on the head there. With someone like his experience coming in.
Yeah.
This is what we've not got. And on Saturday, I mean, we're 2-0 up on 44 minutes. I know I think they had his 6 minutes on at the end of the first half. But that's the time when you need to take the sting out of the game. We let a goal in, and then you think, right, 2-1 now. We're going to get to half time. Someone might have to go down injured, or buy a free kick somewhere. But we ain't got that at the minute. We're just a bit sort of naive, naivety, and we've got to shape up soon because, like I say, Saturday that's game number 10. The games will soon tick around.
They do. Let's have a look at last time out before we talk about the Premier League one. We'll talk about last season. 1-1 draw. Stefan Mavididi puts Leicester ahead. Ipswich through the bloody kitchen sinkers. Leicester got everything through us and we defended and everything. And then, them two bloody deflections and Sam Morsey grabs a point and when we could have had 3 points. But talk to me how that feeling was, Rich, at full time for you.
Yeah, I think that game, you looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
At 1-0. And then I think second half, I think you were quite happy with 1-0 in that game. You were like, yeah, we're happy with 1-0. Now, we sort of done the same to you when we come to the King Power later on. It was only a few weeks later, wasn't it?
Goalkeeping clanger, wasn't it?
Hamadson, yeah, possibly. Yeah. But it was like literally, it was the same. You score in the first half in that game, and then you're quite comfortable, and then we score another late equaliser there. But yeah, look, I thought we kept going in that game. Obviously, George Hurst, he got injured in that game. He done his hamstring, so he went off in the first half, and we just kept battling, and that's what we done last season. There was a lot of late goals that we scored. We kept going right till the end of the game, and yeah, look. It's a massive bit of luck. I mean, you get one deflection and it goes in. I mean,
when you get 2.
it was double, wasn't it? Was it Pereira and Vestergaard?
Yeah,
I think it's it both of them, isn't it?
Vestergaard went to bloody head it, and it's just gone. It's gone in the net and not gone wide, and you're thinking in the away, and you're thinking, oh my god.
But obviously, like a game like that, you coming away. I know you've got a draw, but it feels like a defeat.
It feels like a defeat.
Yeah. Whereas us, we went out the ground there bouncing, thinking, yeah, brilliant. We got a point here. You know, we scored a late goal, but you just got to keep going. Keep going.
Going back some years, Colin there, mate.
Colin, no, he knows everything. Frank Worthington, bloody hell.
Tim Robinson's the referee. Much said about the referees, the better. Let's talk about last time out in the Premier League, 2001.
Wow.
Boxing Day. 2-0 win for you lot. Hopefully you lot will be wanting more of the same from your side.
I think we were bottom. We were bottom.
The other side.
We were bottom in this game, and I think you were second bottom.
Well, so it was a relegation battle back then.
Yeah, we both ended up getting relegated. We literally, I remember that season. It was our second season in the Prem. We'd finished 5th in the first season. I mean, that was amazing. And then we won on the second day of the season, the second game of the season against Derby.
Yeah,
I think that was the season when Derby got 11. I think they were absolute. I think that was the season.
No, Derby got 11 points in 2008, didn't they?
Oh, maybe that was but I think they did go down this season with us as well. And then we hadn't won. We didn't win again until just before Christmas. We won at White Hart Lane, and then this was Boxing Day when we played you, and we beat you 2-0. And then I think we won 7 out of 8, and we got all the way up to 12th.
Yeah,
but March, and it looked like we're going to stay up, and then somehow we went on a stinking run and we got relegated. But yeah, 2-0. I remember. I think Robbie Savage was playing for you then. I think Ian Walker was in goal. So yeah, and that was the last time. That was the last time, Jack, we were in the Premier League. 2001, 2002 until this season.
13 years is a bloody long time, isn't it? A lot's happened back there since then, though, for both clubs. To switch it 13 years on, both
22.
Each other again.
No, 22 years for us. That was 2001, 2002.
Oh yeah.
We haven't been.
Years.
Yeah, we ain't been back since.
3 years. What am I talking? 13 years? Like talking about 2010.
Yeah, we were in the Championship then.
That was when you had was that Mick McCarthy?
No, I think 2010.
2010.
I remember. Do you remember the snow game? We played you
Jason
when
Scotland scored. Yeah, that should have been called off. No, that should never have happened.
Well, there's only one reason why it weren't called off, because Roy Keane was it was on Sky, and Roy Keane was the manager, and we were winning. I remember they kept coming out. They kept coming out and scraping the lines off. That's when Sven was your manager then. I mean, that game should never have ever it probably shouldn't have started. It definitely shouldn't have finished. I mean, it was ridiculous.
What are your views on your defence like Wild Fast? Roy Keane? Thoughts on Wild Fast? He's got mistakes in him, hasn't he? Like every defender has. He built that partnership with Vestergaard last season in the Championship. I thought they were phenomenal, the pair of them, to be honest. And this season we've changed it a bit, haven't we? We've gone from Vestergaard and Fast to Fast and Akoli, which I think they started off well together. I think there was a bit shaky against Nottingham Forest, too many mistakes in the game for them pair. But yeah, Fast, he's got a few clangers in him, let's be fair, and it proved it against Forest. Frank McLean started at Leicester City before going to Arsenal. Yeah.
I like your goalkeeper. He's very
Matt
good.
Hermanson. He's kept us in a lot of games this season.
I'm surprised.
Fantastic.
Was there any chance Maresca taking him to Chelsea?
I think because we put a £40 million transfer fee on him, Chelsea thought, well, I think we'll go with someone else. I don't think they want to pay it, but I think if he has a fantastic season this season, then we'll put a big price on him, and then I think the big teams will come and pay it. Well, they're like, you know what I mean? We always seem to get the best out of players, and then sell them on. You've seen it with like the likes of Mahrez, Kante, Chilwell, Maguire, and players like that.
Danny Drinkwater.
Big bucks.
Danny Drinkwater. I mean, what happened to him? He went to Chelsea and hardly played, did he? Is he a builder now? Did I see he's working on a building site?
He's a builder. And then someone questioned him about it. Oh, yeah, but he said it's a job at the end of the day. so it don't really matter. His career went downhill fast after he left Leicester and went to Chelsea. It kind of went downhill. It didn't work out for him at Reading or Burnley or any team like that. It's just a shame for him, innit, at the end of the day.
He was
But
very good for you.
he went to Chelsea, and yeah, it kind of ruined his career, didn't it? Going to Chelsea, but they went Ross Barkley at the same time, and obviously Barkley turned out the best thing for them than Drinkwater did, and yeah, I just don't think they fancied him at Chelsea, Drinkwater. I think they just panicked in buying him, but I wish he'd stayed at Leicester, really, because I think he'd have carried on the performances that he did. But yeah, he leaves for a bigger club and more money and stuff like that, like players do. You know, they like.
He's a little bit, Jack, like Calvin Phillips. Obviously, we've got him on loan now, and he was at Leeds, playing really well at Leeds. No, don't take no notice of any of them silly stories that you see on Twitter last week.
I have to ask.
He's gonna. No, they poo-pooed. I think McKenna. They asked him on the weekend. He said it's nonsense. I mean, it's that. I think that's just that was a lazy bit of journalism where I suppose when Pep had him and he said he was overweight, didn't he? And then he's obviously come to town. He's had a few good games. He's had a few games where he's probably not been his best, but he just needs to play football. He's not played football for 2 years. He went to West Ham, Jack, and he didn't have a very good loan time there. And he's probably, to be honest, he's come to Ipswich, sleepy Suffolk. It's a bit out of the limelight. I mean, look, he goes to West Ham, big club in London.
Yeah.
If you don't perform, you're going to get stick. Where you come into a newly promoted team, and I'm not saying it's an easier move for him, but I think he just needs to get his head down and play football, and he needs to. I'm not saying he's going to get back to that player he was when he was. I think he was player of the tournament for England, wasn't he, at the Euros when it was over here, and he was really good with Rice, but just needs to play football. I mean, it didn't do his career any good going to City. I know you've gone there, you've worked under Pep Guardiola, you've picked up a lot of medals, but he's not really done a lot to earn them medals, has he? I mean, when he looks back on his career, and he'll probably think, oh look, he's got grandkids, and I say, oh yeah, look, you won the Premier League, Dad, Granddad, and he'll probably say, yeah, but I didn't really take part, did he? I mean, a bit part. He earned a lot of money.
Did it if the trophy comes?
Yeah, he's earned a lot of money, but I don't think it's benefited his career. But he just needs to
look at Scott Carson.
Well, he's having a wonderful time. I mean, what a gig that is! Third choice keeper at Man City.
I think we'd all do that.
He might play what they normally play him in. He might get one game a season. He normally gets a game somewhere at the end when they've won the league or something. Pep chucks him in, doesn't he? There you go. There's another medal. Happy days.
Let's have a look at the last 5 at Portman Road in the league. Played 5, 2 wins for each and 1 draw. I'm going to ask you now, starting 11 for Ipswich. Any injuries?
Yeah, we've got a stack of injuries. We've got about 7 or 8 players out.
Go on.
And it's really hurting us because the last 2 seasons we had a few injuries last season, but not the number that we've got at the minute. I mean, Morsey didn't play Saturday. He's got a hamstring. I don't think he's going to play this weekend. And then Jack Taylor was going to come in and play and partner Phillips, and he got injured in training. He's done his hamstring. He's going to be out after the break. You got Jacob Greaves, signed from Hull. He's done his hamstring. He's not playing. Axel Twanzebe, did you hear about him, Jack?
No.
Nearly chopped his thumb off.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Washing up at home.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's a very dangerous business, isn't it? When you got your hands in that soapy water. And he nearly lost his thumb. It was pretty serious. So he's out. Massimo Luongo's another one. Last Saturday we had to there was 2 goalkeepers we had on the bench. So we don't want to bemoan injuries. I don't want to be getting like Pep Guardiola when I see Pep on the telly this morning saying, we've only got 13 players. Come on, Pep. Get some of your kids in there. But just get on with it. We'll just have to pick whoever's fit, and you're going to get players who probably get a chance now that might have not been playing. I mean, Cameron Burgess played in the Championship centre half. Yeah, Cameron Burgess played in the Championship, and he wouldn't have probably played if Greaves was fit. And now he's come back in. He's played the last 2. So, yeah, look, injuries are part and parcel of football. But you do need to be a bit lucky in the Premier League with injuries. I think when you're a newly promoted team, you need everyone fit. And at the minute, it's hurting us.
Do you think what do you think your starting 11 will be then? Do you think you'll stick with the same one at Brentford?
I
Any
would,
changes
yeah.
from that?
Well, obviously Harry Clark got a red card.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a nightmare, didn't he, on his Premier League full debut? Scored an own goal, which has now been taken off him. Conceded a penalty. Got sent off. So it weren't the greatest. It weren't the greatest game. Yeah, he'll drop out. So it'll be interesting who plays at right back because I'm not sure if Ben Johnson. He's another one we signed from West Ham. He's been injured, so I don't know if he'll be fit because Kieran's not done his press conference. He'll do that tomorrow. So I'd probably think Dara O'Shea would probably drop in at right back. He played there against Everton. We signed him from Burnley, and then Luke Wolfenden. He's played with us since League One. Him and Cameron Burgess will be your two centre backs, and then obviously Leif Davis. If you know your football, Jack, you'll know a lot about him. He's highly rated.
Good last season for Ipswich.
Very good. Last two. Well, this is his third season. He's got, I think, 35 assists from left back.
Wow.
He's a good player. He'll whatever happens. If we go down this season, there's no doubt in my mind that he'll get snapped up. And I'd like to hope that he gets a chance for England because I don't think there's many left backs sort of kicking around. We do seem to want to play players out of position for England, but it depends when Tuchel comes in. Does he even know where Ipswich is? Does Thomas Tuchel know where East Anglia is on the map? Could someone point him to come and have a look at Leif Davis? But yeah, so he'll be your left back, and then midfield we are literally down to the bare bones. We've obviously free out Taylor, Morsey, and Luongo. So you're going to have Calvin Phillips and Jens Kajust, who's on loan. We've got him on loan from Napoli. He's Swedish. He'd been injured, and he'd only trained twice. He'd been out for about 3 weeks. He trained twice last week. He wouldn't have played because Jack Taylor, and he had to play last week, and he actually done quite well. So he'll probably be in your midfield. And then, front three. Behind, obviously, Delap will be your striker. We'll probably go with Smodics, I would have thought, on the left. Connor Chaplin, who he's another one who's hardly played since we got promoted. He played at Liverpool against Liverpool in the first game. He'll probably be on the bench, I'd have thought. He's just come in. You know, it's these players, Jack. You know, we've signed some good players from the top of the Championship, but it's a big leap and it takes time. You know, they don't. When they're coming in, they're moving to a new place. You know, you've got to make new friendships and you've got to move house and whatever. So I'd say Smodics on the left. Chaplin will be in the 10, which he played last Saturday, and he played quite well. And he was captain. Right-hand side, I would have thought Amari Hutchinson. He was ill. He was another one. He was sick on Saturday morning last week. He couldn't play. So hopefully he'll be fit and firing. He'll be on the right. And then Liam Delap leading the line.
Yeah, Leicester's team, Hermanson in goal. I'm going to go with Ricardo. And I'll tell you what, I think Fassel will keep his place where Coley. I'd like to see probably Vestergaard maybe. Could potentially go back 3, but I don't know. I think he'll go with Christensen, midfield of Winks and then Didi, El Canus and Buonanotte, Jamie Vardy, Stefan Mavididi. Score prediction, Rich, before I let you go, mate.
Well,
what's your head and heart?
It's a game we have to win. It's a game we have to win. So, I see you've scored in every game. We're not very good at defending at the minute, as I've said.
I don't feel we are either at the minute.
So this is what I'm going on. I've seen you last week, and I'm thinking, you make a few mistakes. We probably make more at the minute, and I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, and I don't think you'll keep a clean sheet either. I think.
It'd be like a game watching it through your fingers for both sides.
I think. Look, it's a game where
you'll be doing the same.
I think we probably play at our best when it's end to end. Last season there was some some of them games towards the end of the season. Southampton sticks out for me down there when we beat them 3-2 and we scored in the 97th minute. I think we're probably at our best when the game's a little bit like a basketball game. You know, if you come and sit in and play that low block and make it difficult for us, we might find it difficult to break it down. I'm going to go the reverse of what Dawn says there. She says 3-2 to you. Yeah. So I'm going to go 3-2 to Town. I've got to say we got a win. I've got to try and still believe that this is going to be finally the day, the first Premier League win in 22 years for Town. We can't come out that ground. We can't come out that ground, Jack, on Saturday having lost the game and going. You'd be 8 points clear of us. I think that'll be the writing on the wall for me if we lose Saturday. I know, look, there's still a lot of games and a lot of football to be played, but yeah, with the games that we got coming up, I mean, Spurs, Man United, Forest. I mean, it don't get much harder than Tottenham away next, and then Man United with a new manager, and you don't know what Man United's going to turn up. So I think there you go. Look, Matt, 4-3 Town. What a game this is going to be with another deflection, probably in the last minute.
And let's hope that's the other way round, Matt.
Wow. Please no.
No, I think it'll be a quite battling game. Both sides will obviously want this win, and Leicester will look to get back to winning ways and really push away from that relegation zone. Ipswich, on the other hand, they're in hunger of a win, aren't they? And hopefully we don't turn into Charity FC and bloody hand it at the weekend. Hopefully that's another game you go and win another time. But hopefully we can come away with 3 points. We know how tough it's going to be at Portman Road. You can't really overlook Ipswich's form by any stretch of the imagination. But I think we've got to tighten up at the back at the weekend, to be honest, and stop with these silly errors defensively and that. And hopefully Jamie Vardy's on song at the weekend and gets a goal. And I'm going to go 2-1.
Well, I think we probably say the same thing there. Tighten up at the back.
Yeah.
Don't give any goals away, because we have given some shockers away so far. But it might be a case. It might be a case on Saturday. Which team makes the least number of defensive errors probably comes away with a win. And I'm hoping it's going to be you make more than us.
Well, I hope it's you. But
well, there you go.
No, Rich, thanks for the chat, mate. Really appreciate you coming on. Before I let you go, mate, let everybody know where they can find you, pal, and what you do regarding Ipswich.
Yeah, get over to YouTube, search the Suffolk Crunch. Get involved. You don't have to be a Town fan. Just hit the subscribe, get involved, and love talking about Ipswich. You love talking about Leicester. Hopefully, it's still a Premier League fixture next season, Jack. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it does football any good when you get the teams come up from the Championship and then get relegated straight back down. You need some teams to get promoted, and you need to stay there, don't you? I think that's good for football if a couple of us can stay. Well, look, we'll shake hands now. We'll both stay up, and Russell Martin can take Southampton back down. We're all happy with that, yeah?
Yeah.
There you go.
I think we're happy with that. But no, all the best for the rest of the season after Saturday, Rich.
Top man. And we'll see you later in the season. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
See you later. That was Rich from the Suffolk Crunch. Real great guest. Matt, thanks for coming on, mate. What a great pod. Thank you to everyone. Look forward to hopefully a good game on Saturday. Hope so as well. Hopefully Leicester can bloody tighten up that defence and stop making silly errors that cost us bloody games of our own doing. Hopefully the Foxes can go and pick up 3 points at the weekend. I'll be at Portman Road. There'll be a match day vlog for that. And that is it from me. Go and check out the match day vlog for Man United, as I was there last night at the game. And yeah, the 42 quid turned out. 6 goals, it's £6 each, so which reverts to £42. So yeah, thanks to everyone coming on. Really appreciate it. If you're watching this on playback, then go and let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed, then please do so. It'd help me out massively. And I'll see you on Saturday for Ipswich away. Come on, Foxes. Catch soon. Keep it at the final whistle. Good night. Hi all, thank you for watching The Final Whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share and subscribe to the channel.